Hey everybody, welcome to the Richard Villa podcast. I am so excited. I got one of my best friends in comedy. You wouldn't even believe it. Joel Cholo. Can you see him? Joel Cholo.
Right, that's what's up, man.
What's
the good
up?
cholo, man.
What's up? The
You
good
gotta
cholo.
let people know, man, because they confuse them with the bad cholo, and then they start hiding all their stuff.
So there's good cholos, there's bad cholos?
There's good, bad, and then there's the
Okay. So explain it to people because when I first met you, I went by the physique. I saw the cholo and I was like,
and that's what everybody. That's why I always tell people the good cholo. Well, see, the bad cholos are the cholos that just cause chaos. There's madrosos, bro. They're just out there, not giving a.
Now, were you ever that cholo?
I at one point I was trying to be that cholo, but let me just say this, man. When you're the biggest cholo of the whole group, you're the fattest cholo of the whole group. Everything always attracts to you because cholos are always trying to fight the biggest cholo. Yeah. So I never had to be that ass to prove myself because everybody always wants to fight the big cholo. Yeah. Because if you knock out a big cholo, you get your points, your system goes up. Like, yeah.
So
homie.
the bigger the cholo you knock out, the bigger the street cred.
You start, people like, oh man, like this about the street, it's just.
Is that how it works, really? Like, that's what they say, putting in work?
Yeah, well, no, putting in work is just going out there and letting people know that you're down for whatever, But when it comes to, like, being afraid of, like, size, because imagine being 5'11", 5'1", and you knocking out a 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" type of dude. Huh. What does that do for your image? Lets people know, like, damn, that fool, he can knock fools out. It could have just been that cholo couldn't fight or he was drunk, but...
What does that do for your image? I mean, what image? Who are you impressing?
Your homies.
Your homies?
Your own clique, your own people.
But you're a big dude.
That's so what I'm saying.
People would come at you like...
People always try to fight me.
Didn't you join the gang for protection? What the fuck?
You would think... Let me tell you this, man. Whoever said protection, no, man. There's no such thing because you're always hiding. You're always you're always looking out. Like if somebody shoots, dude, let me tell you this. There's not one homie that's gonna stand there and find out who shot. Because by the time you look, everybody, even the fucking dog took off, dog.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like
it's not like the movies. You guys go,
man. The movies, dude.
Actually, I had you ever have like relatives that you don't know how they became relatives, or they've just known your family for so long they just become almost like family?
All the time, man.
All the time, right? Yeah, so you know those situations.
How did they become our family? But
exactly. Yeah. I had Santos Primos. I was like, bullshit. You just known them since you were 12.
You just became family.
They became family.
They got jumped into them.
Exactly. So I had a relationship where where my dad was friends with their dad.
Oh, okay.
And they just became cousins per se, and they were involved in gangs and shit like that. And their dad was a piece of shit and just horrible people, bro. And I don't know till this day why my dad was friends with their dad. I was like, Dad, this guy's just
it just happened.
Okay,
man.
So to the point where I'm not just making this up. This guy was on America's Most Wanted.
The father,
or the father, that my dad's friend. Okay, my dad's friend, the guy that we would go with. Dad, why are you hanging out with this guy? This guy turns out to be a pedophile, and he had molested his daughter, and now he was on America's Most Wanted. Like he was on the show.
You know what's funny? That white people is pedophile.
Oh no, this was Mexican dude.
No, but I'm saying, but for the Mexican, it's pedophiles because we become very touchy when we're drunk.
It's pedophile. Oh no, bro. Fuck that shit.
So when you're drunk, it's always a thing like, hey, no.
Hi, my name is Chris Hansen. You were pedo.
No, estaba pedo.
So this guy's kids were involved in gangs, and they all ended up like literally throwing their life away because of some revenge shit. They got shot. The guy that got shot went back with his brother, and they shot up the opposite gang the very next day.
Easy. And it's easy to get caught up, man. That's why it was always the things you always hear. You're gonna get caught up in. What do they say when you join a gang? You're gonna either be in a body bag, in jail, or in the hospital, man. I mean, it's already a given, man. What you're telling you, man, is your choices, because nobody ever has a plan, bro. See, that's the problem with joining a gang is if we had a plan, we would be more than just gangsters. We would actually be some good fellas and shit. But because we joined the gang with no purpose, and just because we want to feel a part of something that we don't develop.
So you mean to tell me if you redirected all that energy into like really mafia style type
Yeah,
of shit,
you
where you are an enterprise and you tell, hey guys, we know El Chapo or El Chapo's kids, and they're gonna start.
Why not? I
supplying
mean,
us
you're
and
out there
really-
doing the dirty work. Might as well get paid for it.
But why do you think they can't get together, the gangsters?
Because, like I said, when you join something without thinking, without purpose, without direction, you get just bottom feeders, bro. Because now you're in it. Now you expect things because you're a cholo now. You see, look at the structure in the bikers. It's not so much, oh, I'm gonna be a biker because I have a bike. No, it's you have to put in work. There's direction, and that's why there's a brotherhood. Not that it's any better, but there's structure. There's, hey, you ever see a poor broke ass biker? Nope.
Is that what the Mayans is all about? Trying to encourage cholos to get out of a gang and join the bike?
Well, most of the gangs that the people that joined the bikers were ex gang members. The
Yeah.
problem was, like I said, there's no direction. They don't like the fact that there's no such thing as a brotherhood. Everybody's so quick to turn on you for the imagine for the least crime, and people will turn on you like because you got caught with dope. Well, because I don't want to fiend in jail, I'll throw my brother under the bus, because, and
I'm gonna be fiending. Yeah.
And in the biker structure, it's different. Like, dude, like how many people do you see with busted up bikes? You go to the Mongols, House Angels, anybody just aiming. Do you see these guys with busted ass bikes, with busted up anything? You don't. Why?
They'll check
Because
it.
there's structure, because there's discipline, because there's, hey, we're not just joining it. There's has to be something there to do it. Now in the gangs, it's different. In the gangs, back then it was a familia thing. It was more family than it was the drugs and all that. The drugs are part of everything, but it was different. It was more family structure. It was brothers and cousins.
Do you think it's the egos between people? Because I imagine that's the hardest part, right? Like one guy's gonna go, I worked harder than that guy, so I deserve more.
It's always, bro. See, people, it's the
Those that
pride,
be
bro.
like-
It's the thing, bro. Pride, homie. I'm telling you right now, man. There's not one person in hell that couldn't be in heaven. I'm gonna tell you why. Because even to your dying days, like your seconds, I'm talking about your like TKO countdown, 9, 8, 7. It's still there. Still said, if you allow
Repent.
Jesus in your life, you will never. But people are so stubborn. They'll be like, no, I'm still not gonna do it. You're gonna go to hell. Well, then I'll go to hell.
Yeah, right. Even if I'm an atheist, I would have thrown it in there. Like, hey, here we go, just in case.
Because
you
you're
do
still
exist.
giving that. Like, that's how much love is there for you. But because people
Their
rather,
pride.
they'll take their pride to the death,
Yes,
bro,
because they
and
just kept telling everybody the entire life God does not exist, and now you have to either pray to God and say, "Hey, I praise you."
I'll tell you like this, man. You want to get people to believe in God? I'll tell you like this, man. Take your check, put it in a machine, and say, "Hey, if you believe, you better start believing now." Because once I press this
Yeah.
button, and if it don't crack, well then. So I'm telling you right now, man. That's the difference, man. Like being a cholo has changed so much, man. Before there was structure, there was rules, there was respect, there was love, there were so many things.
But don't you
man.
think that's what the generation before you said? You know what I mean?
It's always been said. Every
Yeah, but
generation.
every generation is like you're telling me, and this is what the young kids right now they're going, man, fuck that fool. He doesn't know what the fuck's going
Well,
on.
now it's different.
But you don't think there's a young, dumb fucking cholo watching this thing and going, oh, they stupid. They don't know what the fuck.
Of course.
They think that they're right. They don't
Of
think,
course,
yeah.
of course. See,
So-
but I'm saying like it's sad, man, because it died, bro. The respect. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to have respect. Imagine, bro, if we were to all just get along. There's so much money in this world, dude. Let me just tell you a prime example. How many times has Mexico been corrupt and still ni se lo pueden chingar?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Mexico. I mean, as much as it's poor and this, dude, Mexico probably has more richer parts
Yeah.
in
Oh,
California.
in terms of resources.
And research. I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like money, why everything, dude. I mean, shoot. it's just the difference is that they, we just know how to band-aid shit better out here in California. In Mexico, you know, people don't give a shit, man. You know, you're poor, you're poor.
Yeah, but the situation here, I think more than anything, I think is people get greedy. I think the egos get involved, and before you know it, they're like, no, I should make more. And that's the whole thing. And then when they get caught, they're gonna snitch. That's another thing. If you're in a criminal environment, you know the rules. Shut the fuck up.
And you also know this, man, that it's not a rocket science, man. If you're in the criminal world, expect to get caught.
Yeah.
Expect it. There's no such thing as, oh, yes, the code of silence is the best, but the code of silence is if Richard, imagine you're put in a situation where they said, hey, Richard, I have enough to put you away for life. Or you help us and you'll be able to be home and and then they're gonna put pictures of your daughter and then they're gonna do all that and they're gonna put you in a situation where can you live with your daughter, knowing that your daughter needs you? Or are you gonna be thinking, well, you know what, like these fools deserve my fucking... No, you're gonna be torn between my daughter, which is my life, or these idiots that are fucking don't give a shit. Yeah. Because that's how you feel. Because that's how they're gonna make. Trust me, I've been in those rooms where they make you feel like shit. They make you feel that the people around you never gave a shit about you. That's why you're here. Because if they cared about you, they wouldn't let you do bad things. They would encourage you to do better things in life. And then it gets to you because you're like, no, pues estás cabrón, what the fuck? Like,
hey, now you're snitching.
And it's not even so much snitching. It's just that you got to think it's me or them.
No. This is the thing is you are snitching because when you said, I want to be a gangster, I want to do criminal shit, with that came the oath of saying, I don't snitch. But you know what?
They've never... I'm going to tell you the difference between... anytime you've been in criminal activities, I've never encountered anybody coming up to me and telling me, hey, Joe, I want you to solemnly swear that you will never snitch, you will never know. They expect you to know the rules. And that's just dumb because...
Okay, now, what if you made the punishment something horrible, like sodomy or something?
Dude, people don't care, man. People don't care, man. Like I said, there's no... in the streets, man, like I said, in the end of the day, man, there's no rules, man. People are going to use the rules to get what they need, but at the end of the day, they don't...
That being said, every time I'm faced with a question like this, every time people tell me, hey, Richard, what do you think of this? Or what do you think of that? I always try to look at every angle and go, okay, what are we talking about, right? Well... It seems to me that it's almost impossible, but it's possible, almost not impossible, but whatever the fuck I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this. Don't even try to change society. You as a person.
Yeah.
Change the perspective of what people... Because I have a different perspective for cholos now because I met you. My wife has the same thing. My little girl has the same thing. When I was raised... The perception we had of cholos was like, here they come, they're gonna fuck up the quinceañera.
Well, just like when they come into the parties, everybody shit, here comes the cholos, they're gonna caga palos.
¿Quién invitó al cholo, güey? Que es la cuñada, el amigo de la hermana del cuñado de que vino de whatever. I was like, what the fuck?
And trust me, nothing's changed because people still have that mentality when they see that. You know, that, here comes a cholo. Because even me, when I go to shows and I do the backyard shows and when I walk in, it seems like they kind of like, they look at, you know, like... They look at each other and they give each other...
We did a corporate gig in a very nice hotel and I showed up with a cholo. What the fuck? In crutches.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, they look at each other and I can see, like, and I don't say nothing, but I'm just like, well, I have a job to do. So when I do it, after that, man, it changes... Everything. They're like, hey, man, I didn't expect to, you know, they've even apologized. Hey, sorry for judging you for, you know, I just thought so many bad things. And I'm like, well, that's okay. I know. That's why I don't get mad. I just gotta, you know, show you different. That's why I tell people I go by the good cholo. That's why I do it, man, you know, because... You know, doing comedy, you were the one that was pushing me in the beginning to do cholo comedy. Like, yeah, dude, do cholo comedy, Joe. Like, when are you going to be cholo? And I wasn't ready. And I was like, nah, dude. Like, because I was going by Shrek at the moment, you know. And I was just kind of like, oh, but no, I don't know. And it came later on to, exactly when they say you gotta find your voice.
Uh-huh.
And it was strange because when I asked people like, hey, what do you think about me doing the cholo comedy? They were like, no, it's not gonna work. Don't even do it. You can't do it. You can't pull it off. You will never pull it off. And I heard so much you can't do it that it was kind of one of those challenging, like, well, if I can't do it, well, then I must try. And it to me, I feel like it's worked out a lot better, like in a sense, because...
Well, listen, can you hide it? Let me ask you a question. I even asked your girl this, and I've asked you the same thing. Why, if you know that the stigma of a cholo, because you dress like that, why would you do it? Meaning, you have a choice. Every morning, you have a choice to say, I am going to wear regular pants.
I don't know how to dress different. I've been doing this
since you were a kid.
Junior high.
So anything else would not look attractive to you.
It's not that I won't look attractive. I wouldn't know how to dress different. I wouldn't know how to... The looks, I even have the indent.
Yeah, that you carry them from ever.
I've been, like I said, I don't know different. And it's not that I would never try anything different. It's just I wouldn't know how to approach it. Like, I wouldn't know how to go to the store and pick out stuff that I would think that would look casual.
Wait, hold on. You need to explain to me. How the fuck do you not know? You can go to Macy's. Well, okay, they have these box services where they'll give you the clothes you need. Would you do something like that if you had money? I mean, I'm talking that's
if I had money, I would try it just to see how it would work. But in the end of the day, I'll always reserve it with some lokes. Like, there'll always be something that would say cholo. Like, like I said, it's just I don't know. I don't know how to be different.
It is, but let me tell you something. And I asked your girl this. It is a cultural thing. It's a movement. It's a way of being. It's like the suiters. It's like the guys that rockabilly.
Yeah.
It's just like, but you guys just had a really bad stigma of fucking up parties and breaking into shit.
You know what? I never that was never me, man. You know what? Anytime I ever went to a party, I always respected it because I'm there to have fun too. Like, I have no purpose of...
You didn't come going like, man, I hope I can ruin this shit.
No. Because, dude, I mean, there's chicks, there's food, there's beer. Like, where else am I going to get
for
this?
Free.
Not at home.
For free.
Exactly. Good stuff.
So,
you have,
but they are, you will admit,
the ones that always messed up, los cagapalos, the guys that would always mess things up were the ones that were always drunk already. Those were the ones that were already drunk. The ones were, that were already coked up, or they were already under the influence. So those are the ones, the hotheads that were already. So I always try to stay away from them because I would end up probably want to fight them myself because of, just like I said, I don't like that, man. I'm an easy, chill dude. I don't need to be, trying to fight. Dude, trust me, fighting hurts. I mean, not everybody's head is.
But you understand?
I
understand it's a cultural. I understand it's a look. There's girls that prefer guys that look like cholos.
Oh no, dude, trust me. Dude, the more I told them I had no job, I had nothing, the more they were like, "Damn, homie, like that's
where you been all my life?
Where you been all my life?
I love you."
The more I was like, "Don't fuck with me. I have issues." They're like, "I'm down."
Listen,
like,
man, I've been in prison. Oh, that's it.
Like, dude, telling them I was in prison was like telling them I went to fucking Princeton. I mean, like, it was like they were like, "That's a community college."
No, that's the big house.
A dorm.
That's the big house.
A dorm right there.
He went to prison, not jail, bitch. Prison, not your community college jail that your boyfriend went because it was DUI. This motherfucker stabbed the motherfucker.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, trust me, dude. It was always, but you know what, man? I'll tell you like this. I didn't get a girlfriend until like I was probably 16, 17. I was afraid of women, though. I had seen, being a cholo, you encounter a lot of things when it comes to domestic violence, man. When it comes to a lot of like hurt, like how these men treat girls and what they.
You mean cholos?
The cholos and how they treat them and cheating and the fighting, and it was so much all the time that I would see that I would just, when it came to chicks, and I would just be like, I just rather just not deal with, because my mind was always like, damn, I think they're all like that. I think I'm going to be in a relationship where you're going
to have to beat the shit out of her?
Yeah, because...
that is fucking disturbing that you're telling me this. Like, the fact that you grew up thinking, I don't want a girl because I'm going to beat the shit out of her because she's going to fuck up
Not
somehow.
that I was going to beat her up.
Oh,
it's just that I thought that that's what I had to do because that's how relationships work. Because you saw it so much not only just in the gangs and the environment I lived in. You know, it was you live in a porn environment where there's drunks and drunks equals when you have two drunks equals fighting. When tweakers fighting, cholas fighting. Just jealousy fight. So it was like that's what I'm saying. Like I always saw like what I saw on my grandparents was never fighting, but I always thought they were Mexico fan. Like the difference between the Americans and the Mexico relationships, where Mexico they sacrificed, they got married young because of their conditions of poor families, and so
you need
that's
to get the fuck out.
Yeah, you got to get out. So yeah, I got
Help
it.
out.
Like so and I understood. Like, dude, not only did they didn't get married so much for the love at the time. Love just had to eventually grow on them, but it was more or less like they knew the situation they had to do, and they had to stick it out and work and build up and come out here.
Well, marriage has always been a negotiation. That's it. It's a negotiation between families, especially when you're broke. It was always a, what can I get off of this?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, so it was different
back then.
And then the choices out here where we had it so easy, like I just saw it so much, and it was just such a bad thing that I always like felt like, man, dude, like, if this is how it's gonna be, then I don't want to be in a relationship. I'd rather just use my hand, homie, and cover that hand, homie, because it was just very disturbing. Like, I was very, like, because I wouldn't want to ever treat someone like that. I wouldn't want to hurt anybody because, she out.
Have you ever been fired because you look like a cholo, or have you ever felt discrimination? That's what I'm saying.
Discrimination.
I tell you like this,
worst?
Man. Because you keep going out dressed like that. You understand? Like, this is the brutal shit that happens to you.
I'll tell you like this, man. Getting a job was never, I learned this from my mom, man. It was always like, you just got to be your own pimp and your own hoe. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, look, as a pimp, you got to know what you want. As a hoe, you got to go out and get it for your pimp. So you got to satisfy yourself. If you come short, fucking slap yourself and go back out there. So
thanks, Mom.
So that would always be my thing. So back then, before the social media and computers, when you went and put an application, and the jobs you had, well, my mom always said, well, you just pick a write-up address, and just say that you work there, and just say, well, they closed down. They're not gonna call reference.
Pimping the fucking
You were
system.
there for 5 years. Like, that was her. I was like, all right, cool. I would do that. So, but I would always kind of research what I was applying for, and then when I would apply for it, I would put a company that, was made up a company, but I had experience for that position. So I was there for 3 years, a forklift driver. I never did forklift, but I know they were gonna teach me.
Yeah.
So I always had magic, man. My ex can tell you, dude, I can get any job, kind of, dude.
So when have you suffered discrimination?
But
hold on, who's coming in? Whoa. You gonna come in? You gonna sit down? Oh shit! Grab a mic.
Okay, well, now this is an interesting story. So
grab a mic, babe. Sorry, my wife just came in.
Yeah, hey, like I said, the more the merrier.
You can pull it as much as you want. Here you go.
Yeah.
You go. Keep pulling.
So
there we go.
This time was really
Hold
like
on.
it really
before you start,
me.
I don't want people to wonder. Here you go. Boom. There you go. So, that's my wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. All right. So now we're gonna go back to Joel Cholo. You were gonna tell us something.
All right. So I was looking for work, and I saw that Mission Guerrero, the tortilla place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Guerrero's owned by Mission Tortillas. So I went, and right here in Rancho Cucamonga, and
When was this?
Let me try to see. Like in 2000 and maybe 9 or 10.
Okay.
But I'll come back to me.
All right.
So I was gonna apply for the factory, but then I saw that they were hiring for sales, and like I said, I'm the type of dude that I don't care what if I see something that I want, I don't care, I have zero experience. I'm gonna put down a fake company. I want to put out
You know,
5 years
by doing
experience.
this, you are now telling everybody you're a fucking liar right now.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
the four people
Hey.
that are watching this.
Hey, I
are
tell
gonna know
the
you're
truth,
lying.
even when I lie.
Okay. Chicho.
So,
He's a go-getter.
hey,
Mm,
so you know, so I went in there and I filled the application, and the lady looked at it and was like, and I was like dressed like a cholo, like this,
Like this.
Like
This. This.
You
Were
know, just
you
ironed
wearing
up
the
and
cholo
everything.
You had your
uniform?
look.
Yeah, I even have my look.
But
My
you
look.
showered.
I forget
Yeah.
I even have my look sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's part of
You
the
ever gotten in the
outfit.
shower with your lokes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've done so. I've even done the nookie with my look. I didn't even know.
Really?
Wait,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
I'm a normal person. Hold on. Oh, the nookie. Okay, I was
The
gonna say, what is
nookie.
the
The
nookie?
n- that's sex,
like
sex.
the song.
Yeah.
Okay, like
I did it
that.
for the
Sass,
nookie.
sass.
Con tus lentes.
El
And they never
Yakuza.
fall off. Like, they're
Well,
just there.
I have a fat head, so they stick pretty good. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
So tell us.
In case you don't want to see something.
so exactly, you know. So so she looks at the application and she sees the position that I applied for, and she sees I was applying for a sales position, and she says, "Sir, do you know what position you're applying for?" I said, "Yeah, for sales." She's like, "Oh my God, you're funny." She's like, "Oh my God, you're funny."
Like, for real, what are you?
Like
what are
she's
you?
like, "You belong like in the warehouse or something."
Boo.
And
boo.
I was like,
Really, boo.
I was like, she's like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, you know, because she's like, look, I'm gonna be real honest. They're not gonna hire you because of the way you look. This is a sales
Hey, at least she's
position."
honest. At least you got to give her that.
So I was like, "What? Like
Yeah.
really? Like damn!" Like I was like,
Bro, but you do know that you're scary, right? Like, you know that, like, regular paisas are scared of you.
"Look,
you
yeah.
know
I
that
don't see. I've seen this ugly mug all my life. That it's a beautiful mug to me."
No, I dude. I
No,
even
but
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
to them, it's scary. To me, is I don't look at it that way. So
I wonder if that's what the lion
To
thinks
him,
too.
it's normal.
Yeah.
So it's
to
normal
him,
to me,
it's
so
like
I
a
didn't-
normal look.
I didn't see myself like I should have dressed different. I should have been more on that look.
Yeah,
Okay,
of,
well, let me
you-
ask you a question though. When you look at somebody like me and Richard, like, what do you think? Like,
I
do you think we're
normal
bougie?
people.
Am I
No.
square?
I mean, even though
do you guys make fun of us?
we
Do you,
don't-
I think you guys are the working class. Like that to me is I see the working class. Like you both have jobs. You guys make money.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Not
saying?
a
I don't
lot,
see
but we-
bougie. I don't see. To me, bougie is
Bougie.
driving a Lexus, living in a trailer
Richard.
home.
That's fucked
You know
up,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
I have a Lexus. That's fucked up.
Richard.
But you have a Lexus and you live in a beautiful home.
Ah, okay.
So you're
okay.
doing something
But
right, you know?
okay, so bougie would be like.
Yeah, bougie is
But I thought bougie was
no
like.
bougie is like you're stuck up rich.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
bougie.
That's what I'm saying. Because, well, like, what is to him? This is normal, which
Just
is
we're
normal,
normal
to us too.
working
Because we're on the same. We're in the same room.
Yeah.
We're on the same room, so we're on.
But
the
in
same
the
level.
category, if people were to see us, they would automatically class me as, oh no,
He's a thug.
Doug.
He's a thug.
Like he
But
don't
look,
have
I
a
told
job or
Richard
nothing.
before, I think you're the nicest guy I've ever met.
But-
Like I met people,
But how
I'm
many
not
people
cholos.
would see me different? Because trust
Yeah,
me, there's
but-
been. Well, let me finish the story
Yeah,
and,
okay,
you'll
tell us,
see what
tell us.
happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, like
Mhm.
no, like let me help you out. Let me erase this, or let me give you a new application.
Okay.
And look, she's like, look, this position would be perfect for you. And I look, and it's a janitor.
Hey, they
I'm
need
like
the
a
money.
janitor. I'm like,
Mhm.
I said, well, why can't I do sales?
Mhm.
She's like, because it doesn't. No, I wouldn't feel comfortable. And I'm like,
With-
you wouldn't feel comfortable?
Mhm.
She's like, no. And I know these guys. They're not gonna hire you. If I submitted an application in the interview, they're gonna get mad at me, and I'm gonna have to answer. Why am I allowing? You know,
Why are you moving this person forward?
Forward, like,
Do you
why-
understand we are not gonna hire this person?
this guy? So
You
you're
are-
He's
wasting
gonna
our
scare
time.
the people.
Are you
He's
really
gonna knock on
that?
doors.
Are you
Yeah.
that clueless now?
You're
The
horrible.
mistake this HR person is doing is telling you the truth.
Right.
Which is
That's
cool
the
because
mistake.
it actually it inspired me. Like I was like, because like I said, I'm a cholo, and like I said, why being nice always works is because of what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, what if I told you that I can get the job. And what do you think about that? She's like, what if I told you you wouldn't get the job? I said, you want to make a bet? She's like, what do you want to bet? I said,
She's probably like all scared.
She's the one that's gonna hire you, bro. She can go, okay, you lost.
So she told me, she's like, I'm
Yeah,
99.9%
she's the
that
one.
you're not gonna get hired. So in my head, I'm like, I still have one.
You're like
chance.
Dumb and Dumber. There's a chance.
There's a chance.
So you're saying there's a
So
chance.
there's a chance. So I didn't say that. I was
So-
like, okay. I said, well, I like those
Good.
odds. I like those odds. You know, those are good odds, man. Like, so I was like, so what do you want to bet? And then she was like, I don't want to bet nothing. I just want to bet the satisfaction that you won't get hired, that I can laugh at your face, that I can laugh in your face and say that I told you so without there being any problems. I said, perfect. I'm not going to get.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
I'm not gonna get offended. If you win, you win.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So she sent them the application. They called me 2 days later.
Oh, she sent it through.
So she still did, because
Okay.
that was the
See,
bet
but
we
she
had.
could have been the one to say no because she's the one. Like,
Well, that was because she was so
Alright.
adamant that she was
You're
like,
not
I'm
gonna get
gonna
it."
laugh in
but
your
she
face.
she even had the advantage of talking to them on the side. Like, hey, listen, I'm
No, and I told her, I said, do whatever you have to do.
Uh-huh.
Do whatever you have to do, but just know, like, once you pass that to that guy, and they call me, guess what? Like I said, it's for me. That's my part now. You can tell them, hey, don't, whatever.
So what happened on the second interview? When you
So they call me, hey, Joe, you know, blah, blah, blah. Boom, cool, you know. I still didn't dress nice.
You went the same.
fucking A.
I had
That
the,
is
like,
real
the cholos.
gangsta.
Yeah, like, I was creased up, nice,
But
shiny,
you
and
were
everything.
planchado and you were
Everything.
showered,
Yeah, I
right?
was
There
really
you go.
good.
You guys are
Shave.
good
I
because
never-
you know what? My brother was one too, and he was clean.
Never, like you said, you'll never catch me with the,
Like,
you
super.
know, like I'm always like, I have to always, you know, be, you know, cleaned up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, I crack, you know, all right, let's do this, man. It's hammer time, you know. Persiguen los buenos, you know. So I go in there, and things that I've learned from putting applications in is I always look around and look at their office, and I like to see things, you know. And then in the interviews, I don't like them to interview me. I like to interview them because I like to know what I study is what Mission Tortilla, Guerrero, all those are history. It's history. Guerrero, you know, tortillas.
Yeah.
Dude, those are history, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
used to live right by the first Guerrero tortillas. I lived right by them. So I already had info. I already had, you know.
Yeah.
So I had, you know, prideful information. It wasn't so much where I'm making him think. It was prideful. Like, I know my stuff, my roots, Guerrero, you know? So I go in there and I look and I see pictures of his family and this and that. So I go in there, man, and I'm
Cholo MacGyver.
and the guy's already like he's giving me like that. He's giving me like that look like, oh no, this
Yeah,
is
you're
not
not
gonna
gonna
work.
When
Right.
he saw
out.
you, he got scared.
Not even scared. It's not
He
even
just
such
like-
thing as scared. He just didn't see me in the sales team.
As a as
So-
a
Bro, do
team
you
member.
understand? They owned a store called Guerrero, and they made tortillas out of that store. And people that look like you used to write on their walls every fucking day.
Like
You
I said,
understand? Now you want a
I was
job.
an equal
Yeah.
Well, he was
employer.
gonna, you know, exactly.
I'm
just saying,
Equal
I don't
blame him
opportunity,
for being
equal
a little
opportunity.
bitter.
There you
But I
go.
was an
That's
equal
right,
employer
Joe.
because I
I
gave
got it.
someone a job to do something clean. You know,
Yeah,
Paint,
you
you
were
know?
changing your life around.
Yeah, him. And he hates you for it. He had to do it every Saturday.
So I go in there and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, hey, let me ask you something. You know, like, how many kids you got? And I have 4 kids. And what ages are? I'm like, oh man, I got 6 kids, man. And I just start telling them, you know, I lived in East LA and all these things. And I would then here comes the fast pitch, the undercook is the jokes. You know, I've always been good with people, making them laugh. And I would be like, you hear this joke? And boom, boom, boom. So we're laughing, and then he's bringing more people in the
So he's
office,
like,
the
hey,
other
this guy has
managers,
charisma.
supervisors.
He's
Hey, look,
charismatic.
So now I
This
got 3 or
guy,
4
He's so interesting.
managers and supervisors in there, and I'm making them laugh, and I'm telling them jokes, and we're laughing, and you know, shaking hands, and this and this.
Everybody's ha, ha, ha,
So then I'm like, you see why I would be such a great employee?
Wow.
I bring that chemistry. You see how I got you guys all here in here?
You
Like, you
called
see,
other
I am a
people.
salesman naturally. Like I said, there's no such thing as me coming at you So he's like, okay, man, can you start tomorrow?
What?
I said, yes, I
What?
can
That
start tomorrow.
1.1%.
So when I went to the front, I told her, hey, they're gonna give me my thing for my drug test. I'm gonna go take a drug test. She looked at me and she was like,
You're not gonna pass it.
Uh-huh.
Come on, why are you gonna
she
go take a
was
drink?
like,
What?
it's like she's a la virgen. She was like, a la verga, güey. Like, she was so
Shocked. She was shocked.
shocked. She like,
Like she didn't think it was gonna happen.
What did you do? What did you do? I said, I didn't do nothing but be who I am. You see, you saw something totally different. See, instead of trying to get to know me, you already shut the door on me, and you didn't even give me that little. Say, but you know where you messed up is that you still gave me 1%.
But yeah, she still gave you
You
that
give me
little.
1%. See that 1%, dude. You go to Maury, even though
Yeah.
even if you're the father, you're still only 99. There's always a percent. There's someone out there that there's a twin that can be the father, and she still was so. She
like,
made
"You're not
sure
gonna
that I
pass
got
this
the
test."
drug test that required hair sample.
Yeah, what I'm talking
Hair
about.
sample.
So did you
Your
pass the
mom-
drug test?
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna say, fuck.
You know what you gotta understand? I didn't start smoking weed.
So
until
you don't
my
have
30s.
any hair.
They
So
shave my chest.
They do it
oh,
from there, yeah.
really?
Uh-huh.
They
So-
shave
so-
my
Hey,
so
they gotta
you
get
don't have
some
hair
hair
that
from
just-
anywhere.
Oh fuck, that's
They
crazy.
do it.
Anything.
What
Remember
if your ass is the only place that has hair?
Yeah, then
Pues
your ass
ahí,
has. Then your ass
your
is gonna
eyebrows,
be.
el
Something.
bigote.
Have your huevos? If there's right.
I wanna
And
see
you know,
that.
like I said, look like a nest in the egg and shit. And
There you go. Well,
so yeah, dude, I didn't
And
have
you
a
passed,
mustache or
and
nothing.
then you went back to this girl and you were like, "Andele."
She, you know what? After that, she just never looked at me like what a disgraceful face ever again. Like she was so like, you know what?
She held her dear.
She said that I made her understand life, and I never know what
Wow.
she meant by that. She just said you made me understand life.
It's the whole
And-
whole judging the book by the cover.
And my
You
girlfriend
were
can
not
tell you,
that,
I've
yeah.
gone to do shows, and I remember they sat me. It's a backyard, and the show's over here, and they made me sit in the corner all the way in the other side. And like they're like, oh, get them a table and a chair, and I'm thinking they're gonna put me, right there. Nah, they made sure that I was all the way over there.
They didn't want to see you.
They even sat me next to these two white, like, one was like a Nazi, he had all like the patches and shit like that. So we're like sitting.
I hope they kill themselves.
Yeah, like it was one of those like, we're eating, and he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and I think, but we didn't look at each other with hate. We looked at each other like that's not fair.
Like,
fool."
I see why they
Like
did
we
that
want to
you.
sit over there
Yeah.
too, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah, I
and
see what they did.
and sure
And this is
enough,
the comedy show?
this is a backyard comedy show.
Oh,
And
but-
sure
At a
enough,
backyard.
and my girl was like, "Damn, man." She's like, "You see?" I'm like, "Dude, wait until I do my comedy." And sure enough, I did my comedy, and after that, they were like, "Oh, why you gotta leave for? Stay." They even got my chair, my table. They put it
push
next
you
to
in the front
theirs.
again?
They were next to theirs. Like I was like, "No man,
on the
shit,
stage
man."
now.
Like, come on,
Yeah.
But people don't realize, man, it's hard work trying to change that persona with being a good cholo. People don't realize, man, that like I said, the stereotype people already have with cholos is they're mean, they're assholes, they steal, and which is all true.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Can you change any of that?
He said,
I'm
which is
trying
true.
to.
Okay, no. Let me tell you something. Don't try. Let it be. Let it be.
I am
change
doing
you. You change you.
I am.
That's it.
Changing me is doing it to change the.
Lead by example.
I'm
meaning-
leading by example.
There you go. That's it.
I can't change people's personas, what they think. I could only show them who I am.
Right.
As for anyone else, man, I tell them, do you, and in a happy way, in a grateful way. I'm grateful every day, man. Every we're not having legs and all that, man. Really changed my perspective of things, man. I'm happier. I live life different in a sense of gratitude. I'm thankful that I can wake up every day and still be able to walk and do things. I tell people this, man. I don't walk this earth no more. I don't walk it, man. God, He's like, you'll never walk this earth, but you're gonna lead by example. You're gonna show the people, man. You're gonna be, and so that's my mission because
You be surprised how you motivate people because I
Yeah.
look at you and I go, what excuse do I have? Like really?
Right.
I see you on flyers going like this fucker's on shows like crazy.
Yeah.
And I haven't done a show
I have
in a
no
week.
people.
You know what I
I've
mean?
been told you have
I
every excuse not to do nothing. I said
Yeah.
no, that's the worst. That's the
But
worst.
you do so much.
That's
you do,
that's
and you,
I can't do that. I said, dude, the minute I have excuses, the minute I fall.
Yeah.
That's the minute that nothing's gonna happen for me because, a lot of I see a lot of podcasts and I hear a lot of things and the main thing everyone wants to do is be famous and do this. I ask God to give me the strength to work harder. I don't care about being famous. I care about working harder and knowing how to work hard and smart, knowing be able to accomplish things and go out there. Being famous, what is fame gonna do? I can be famous and be broke. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, there's Joe, the broke ass. You know what I'm saying?
now everybody's gonna know you're broke.
Everybody will know. No, I'd rather. I always tell guys, show me how to work smart, and let people know that I work hard. You know what I'm saying? For what I got no excuse, man. I'm gonna be out there, and I'm in crutches. People see me like, damn, Joe, you are.
Well, Franco Escamilla was like, what do you mean that guy has no legs?
Yeah.
I said, he has no legs. No mames, güey, te pasas de verga. That's what Franco said.
Yeah.
He said, oh my God, Joe Luna has
does
no
it
legs.
all.
He says, he walks. I thought it was just his cholo swag. But
And a lot of people think that. See, people always ask me
No.
like, why? A lot of people think, yo, Joe, like, I was ashamed of not letting people know. I said, never was I ever ashamed. But if I would have told these people that I have no legs, they would have made excuses for me.
yeah.
And when you make excuses for people, they limit you because now
That
they
is so
think
true.
you can't do it.
And they go, it's okay to you. They say, it's all right. And you're like, wow.
But I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, they cut you short on a lot of things like, oh, Joe can't come to Vegas because his legs or whatever. So I didn't say stuff. I just did it. So when they did find out, they're like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, for the same fact that you could never question if I could do it or not. I've done it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And you
I'll
see,
be
you
there.
could never question.
Okay.
Damn.
Now,
See that?
just to let everybody know, full disclosure, he is my designated driver.
I know.
I've driven him with one leg.
He
I've
drove
driven
me
him
with
with
So
one
let
leg.
me tell you, Joe, I have to be completely honest about this because Richard tells me, hey, Joe's picking me up. And I'm like,
Who's driving?
like
Joe is.
Joe El Cholo?
Joe El Cholo.
And he's like, yeah, and I know you've driven us before.
Yes. See?
But for some reason, I always feel like you're gonna get stuck.
he thinks the foot's gonna get stuck.
Like,
You know
right
what?
there.
And let me tell you,
But he
I
explained
even
it to
thought
me.
that too. Like
Uh-huh.
I would tell people, look, you have to trust me.
Yeah.
If you don't trust me, then I get it. You don't have to ride with me. I
Right.
get it because, like I said, it's your life is in my hands. But just know that
Mm-hmm.
I would never. I don't even drink and drive.
That's
Like,
the
that's
thing.
just my thing. Like I
don't
wouldn't want
either. I have you.
Well, that's the thing. I trust you not drinking and driving. I don't trust Richard
Yes.
drinking and driving.
Yes.
But I know you won't.
Yeah,
So
well, see,
I'm like, you know what? You're safer with
Yeah,
Joe
Joe.
than you by yourself. Go
well,
with
like I said,
Joe.
I'm not I'm not a drinker. Like
Yeah.
because bad enough, I have no leg. So imagine right there, I
You
feel
get
like a
pulled
baby,
over,
like a
Asa
baby
Fur.
Bambi
Hi,
right there,
Asa
all
Fur.
over the place.
Yeah.
If I fall, sass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not my thing. Like I said, I like to give myself trucha. I like to give
Trucha.
myself on the. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've driven with with one leg.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
It's a trip.
I remember a friend of mine. He was going through a lot, and I remember we were driving. He was driving, and he looked at me. He goes, "Joe, you down?" I'm like, well, depends. Like, what do you mean down? He goes, well, I want to kill myself, and would you do the honors to die with me?
What the fuck?
Wait. To
Wait,
die
wait,
with
wait.
him, not kill him?
No, to die with him. Like he was
What?
there. He was gonna slam
You're
his
like,
truck
I don't
in
wanna
the
die.
freeway, just let it and just die with him. He's like
Wait a
because he was going through. And let me just say this
Pero
about.
ese no es tu pedo.
Look, this is my thing. About like, look, man, if me and Richard die, together. Well, you know what? At least I died with a homie. You know, I die with somebody that has respect. That you know what? We're both gonna be like, hey, homie, you know, we're doing something. If I die with him, I would have been like, damn, they're gonna be like, Joe's fucking stupid. Like I'm gonna have negative reviews and shit for my death. You know?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
Richard
saying?
let
Like,
him
you gotta
drive.
be careful who you're gonna die with. You know, because the last thing you want to be like,
On his
well,
obituary,
Who killed him?
negative
Fucking
reviews.
Joe.
you know, like
He
fucking
didn't
Grizzly.
even
Like
know
you
the guy.
died with Grizzly, fool.
Yeah.
You know he's a piece of shit, right? Like you see what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be that dude that dies with the wrong homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but pendejo, just because I needed a ride. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like,
It's like
yeah.
it's like crashing and getting hurt, and you fucking left it on the fucking Justin Bieber song or something. You're like, that wasn't what I was
You were
on.
switching the channel.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like you gotta be careful who you die with. You know, you
Yeah.
want to die with like
Let
real
me ask you
fools.
something about drinking. Los Arcos. What happened, bro?
Wait, what?
Because Los Arcos.
I didn't know this story.
No, Los Arcos. Yeah, I got hammered, and they were like, nah, fuck
Well,
you.
what happened was
What
You were
happened? Tell
hammered.
me.
Yeah.
well.
First of all, the
those
show
shows
went
are
forever.
long shows.
Yes.
You gotta prepare
No,
for
yeah.
an 8-hour show.
I mean, I had dinner twice.
But why do
That's
they
how
have them
long.
so long? I mean, as
It's
a
just-
person that going to see a show, I don't want to be there for 5 hours.
Okay.
well,
but
see, it's on the person who books the show because they do their karaoke and then you know everybody
Yeah.
and then he allows people to do amounts of time and
As
the
long as they
show-
want.
not as much, but he'll
So you
light
get-
you up at like 65 minutes.
yeah. So I'm the
And then there's
headliner.
a karaoke show after that.
And now,
So it was karaoke. Then it was
Wow.
then it was
Singing?
it was well there was the host, which then it
That's
was
their time.
tin tirin, or the paletero tin tirin tirin tirin, and then it was Fabiola, she did her stuff. Then I went up, and then
I'm already
after
tired
that.
listening to this part.
But I'm saying like it's already
Wow.
been like we got there at 10. These dudes already been, I think they're like since 7 or 6 o'clock.
Wow, and they're barely going up.
they've all been drinking too.
Like they were all been
they've
drinking
So
having
too.
you've been
time.
drinking since you got there.
Yes.
So,
So now it's 1
And-
o'clock or 12:30.
yeah, it's so I finally go up there, I do my stuff, Like the people are like tired. Like you gotta
Yeah,
understand. Like they've been there. They
for a
want to
while.
do their karaoke still. They So then finally, Richard goes up. Hey, but I wasn't there for like the first probably like 4 or 5 minutes. I don't know what happened in the beginning.
Yeah.
When I did go there, I just remember like the people were like restless, and then
fidgety.
Richard was like, yo, like trying to do his comedy, but they were talking.
Waking him up.
They were
Oh.
talking. They were kind of being rude. So Richard's like, look, I don't give a fuck. I already got paid.
Yeah.
Like he's telling them, either you guys want to hear or I
Or
already
no.
got paid.
I was
Me
like,
vale.
dude, yeah. Like, listen, I'm here to do a show. If you shut the fuck up, I'll give you a show.
So
but if you're gonna talk,
they would, he would try to do his stuff, and then they would be, throwing comments, and then, so it was just little ruckus that was just happening back and forth, and then that's when they were like, one guy, the guy in the front was like,
Yeah.
hey, he was the one getting more like standing up and
Uh-huh.
like just being very like. Then the other guy in the back was like, oh, you shouldn't get drunk, and Richard was like, look guys, if you guys would just let me do my show, I'll give you guys a show. But then they're like, no, we don't want the show no more, that's it. And then he was like, yo, look,
I told them whatever I got paid, pay for their bill.
I'll pay for your
I'll
guys.
pay for your bill. I told them there, and
Yeah.
I told them after, and I grabbed the
Not
cash.
only
and I
that, he
threw it
goes,
in.
I'll pay for yours, I'll pay
For yours, I'll pay for
He was
everybody's.
like, look,
Done.
and next time, he goes, as long as you guys come back, he goes, I'm sorry if you guys didn't get what you guys wanted. He goes, but I'll pay your bills, and we'll take it from there. No expense, pretty much.
Okay.
They were like, no, me vale verga. Like they were just.
So
and
they were
then-
just drunk.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I put myself in that situation because when I said I already got paid, I'm good. So I was trying to make
kinda
them
like,
understand, hey
oh.
guys, you already paid for this. Don't fuck this up. You
But
know what I
they
mean? You
took
might as well
like,
have it. Well, then fuck
Well, no,
you.
he was
They
just saying, look, I can do my show, I can do my comedy.
Yeah, but
just
as
let
the
me do it.
audience, he didn't
But the
feel like
audience
that.
just kept this. It's mostly this table that kept
Yeah.
Yeah.
just.
Ruin it for-
So they wanted to do karaoke. I said, why the fuck am I here then?
So it
Yeah,
was pretty much
boom.
where he was like, I mean, look, he offered to pay. He offered to say, look, sorry,
Yeah.
you guys didn't get a show, but I'll take care of your
I'll
bills.
take care of you. So you're-
And that
So-
way you guys don't know that you guys.
Joe drove me home that day.
So I was like,
That
I
was the
remember
last
because he
time.
drove you home, and then you got home, and you were like totally out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the doorbell ring.
Ding, ding.
yeah, I
That's it.
forgot my phone.
Oh, Joe's back.
Yeah.
Joe forgot one of his legs or something.
Oh, so talking about that,
Yeah.
when your leg broke,
Oh.
Oh man, that was.
man, when
Why
your
you
leg
gotta
broke,
bring up
that
old
was,
stuff?
bro, that
That
was
was
gangster
hilarious.
shit. So
That
we're
was
running
hilarious.
late. This
That's
was
the
hilarious.
only
This
person
was
I know
hilarious.
that thinks it's hilarious when they're
Oh,
late.
because it was like
We were running late.
We're running late. We're gonna go all the way to do this La Ranchera or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're supposed to do
Yeah.
this show. You know, I'm walking out, and all of a sudden I hear like a crack,
Oh,
and
no.
I fall to the floor, and then but I see my leg, like my foot, just my shoe, like kind of
Back
roll.
there? Oh,
Yeah.
So I'm like,
oh, no.
I was like.
So I'm looking. Go ahead.
I'm like, like I was like, I don't know what to do, like, oh, because I'm thinking I'm gonna see blood. Like, wait,
Yeah.
why is my foot? Like, I literally snapped off my ankle. Like, I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's gonna
Like,
be
your foot
blood,
is
and
done.
And I
Your foot.
heard it, and you see his leg is like this. His leg is just like this. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not
I'm
supposed to be
thinking,
turning
like, the
that
worst,
way.
But not,
Like the
forgetting
leg-
that I have a prosthetic, I'm
Yeah.
thinking like there's gonna be
You're thinking,
blood.
oh my God.
I'm gonna see my bone, like all these things.
So he hides it really well with baggy dickies and long socks and the shoe and the prosthetic. So you all you see is the shoe, the sock, and the leg, but the foot now is facing the opposite
Yeah.
direction, and you're freaking out because it looks like
It's
a real
literally
foot.
it's actually
literally.
the foot is the shoes it's off.
It's
literally-
off. The
it's
full
off.
the full foot
It's
is
off.
off.
Like, you can
It's
pick it like a
hanging because
football.
of the sock that is
the only
connected
sock
to the
is keeping it
stump.
together. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So when he gets up,
Like a
the
little-
leg is doing this shit, and
So
we're
I got
freaking the
him in
fuck out.
full-ass.
He's like this. We're like, your leg, bro, your leg.
And this is how Mexican Richard is. He's like, hey, bro, I think we can go fix it. We gotta go to
Home
Home
Depot
Depot
and get you a
and
screw.
get a screw. I think we can do it. We need a
Forget it,
store.
doctor. Forget
And we
it.
went. And we went. No, we went to
No,
your
no.
house. We went to your house, and but we were about to go to Home Depot. All right.
So we ended up going to.
Was it-
I went to get the spare leg, but the spare leg was, it must have been a right. So I had to put up another
You had
right,
two rights?
two rights.
Were you walking in a circle the whole time?
It was the worst because see that model of prosthetic that I had was like a 19, like a Model T. It was the oldest. It was humongous because
It's
you
all
know
fat.
it was big. I had to sit there and oh my god, it was painful walking like from where. So we still made it to the ranchera. Now I gotta figure out. You know, I'm right there walking on like chueco, like you know I'm doing cumbia. You know I'm right here like shaking. To get there, it was
But it was two left legs, right?
no two rights.
Two right
I
legs.
think two right, either two rights or two lefts. But
Yeah, but
the other one was like look a big old like a Stanley Cup, you know, like
Yeah.
a trophy because it's so big, you know. Because that was when
Yeah.
I first got my amputation, and it was that old
Good thing you
school
weren't wearing
one.
skinny jeans, huh?
Oh,
No, there's no way. They wouldn't be able to
His-
fit. No,
no.
I'll
His
have like
wardrobe is-
elephantitis. It would be like, nah, there were no way. I would have to have some spandex, you know.
Little
like-
jeggings.
yeah,
I'm gonna
like
get you for
something
Christmas.
like that. Like
Next
so.
Christmas.
It was gacho, man. It was we get there, we do a ranchera. I'm standing. I mean, I'm hurting.
Yeah,
I
that's
was-
true, bro.
I was hurting because it didn't
Yeah,
matter. I didn't
I
have the
bet.
proper bandages and
Yeah.
and then it was shorter. It was shorter.
Oh no.
So that's what I said. It was like.
Limping.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
And then I had to walk through the
And
grass.
I'm
You know,
pretty sure
grass
you were
is
bleeding
uneven.
from your knee, right? Or
I eventually, I think I had it was just all bad, you know. But and then that's not, dude. I think in 3 years ago, after New Year's night, I went to go drop off my son at my grandma's. So I get out of the car and I'm going to use the restroom, And all of a sudden, imagine this is probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. And again, bro, it cracks. It breaks. The same foot. The same one
The
breaks.
same screw?
Yeah, breaks. So I go like I feel like like a sniper hit me. I landed in the
Wait, this was when after New Year?
like New Year, like we did the countdown, and then at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
not this New Year. It was
Oh,
like three,
yeah.
3 years ago.
Oh,
Like
okay.
3 years
Okay,
ago.
okay.
So
Yeah.
we go to the I go to drop off my son at my grandma's. Like I said, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm telling you, dude, it's like a sniper hit me. I'm like, so I land. Now the grass is wet, man. I'm like, no, man. I was like, so I'm right there. I tell my son Derek, go give me my other prosthetic and my crutches. My girl comes to me and she's looking and she's like, are you okay?
The fuck?
And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Just chilling here in the wet grass.
She was just like looking at me like, damn. She's like, so are we still gonna go do, are we still gonna go do something? I'm like, I don't know.
We're still gonna party.
So, but like I said, I sent my son to get the crutches and my spare leg. I see him go to the kitchen. I'm like, my shit's upstairs. I'm like, where's he go? He goes to the kitchen, comes back, stands by the door. It is like a Coca-Cola commercial. Stands there, opens the thing. And then I'm like, motherfucker, go get me my shit. Like it was like a commercial on Coke that says, hey, who gives a shit? Just get a Coke, Like,
Best commercial ever.
like a commercial.
But do you think it was more of him like,
normal to him.
fuck you, you can't get up, huh?
Like,
it was
You
one of
can't
those.
beat me. Yeah, you're not gonna catch me right now.
Yeah, like, but it was like one of those, like I said, like a
Yeah.
commercial, like,
Yeah,
fuck
like-
what's going on. I'm gonna give me a
Have a
Coke.
Coke.
Like I
we're
was
watching you
like,
drink this like slow motion.
like you could have drank it in the kitchen. No, you
Yeah.
had to go outside, crack it open, and just,
Look at me.
And I'm right there on the floor and shit, like, like, all fucked up. Like, these motherfuckers, come on, man. Like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
See,
That's what kids do. I forgot.
Uh-huh. I forgot.
Now, do they think they can take advantage of you, your kids, or are they still scared of you?
Nah, they scared.
They
I
scared?
will never, no, they're scared.
They're scared.
I will never, see, I don't ever,
You're still
my
there.
son, my older son is more scared of me than the rest of the kids. And not in a way where, I don't know why. I've never beat my kids. I've always been the cooler dad, I've raised 9 kids. I'm a fucking kid whisperer, I know how to convince kids to do shit. Like, I promise them, this is what you do. You promise them, hey, I'm gonna get you ice cream. Oh yeah, La Michoacana. Oh yeah. Next Wednesday. Yeah. So through the whole week, hey, if you don't do this for me, I'm not gonna take it to Michoacana. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I have a whole week's worth of making on my slave. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you have to promise them
Are
stuff.
you learning? Are you learning?
Yeah, because I give it up quick, bro. With Oli, I give it up like that.
Yeah, he does.
Not me. See, I already know, dude. You promise them something a week from
And
now,
then hold
so
it like
that
a
way
carrot.
you can hold it
Yeah,
up
it's like
against
Christmas.
him.
The whole Christmas month, you're like,
Hey.
if you're not paying attention, Santa's not gonna.
That's
It's the same
Santa,
thing.
exactly. So you see, I really learned the tricks with these kids. So,
Mm.
but
Right.
nah, he's more like, I had a talk with them, and my grandma's like, hey, he's not doing what he's supposed to do in school. He's a senior year. He needs to get his act together. I tell him, dude, your education, dude, 13 years, 12 years of school, and for you to just be like, because that's what I did. I did the school.
So what do you want your kid to do now?
I want him to graduate.
Okay.
After that, then I'm like, that's when he needs to find himself and figure out, okay, what. I'm like, there's 2 things that's going to happen in life. Either you're going to work hard or work smart. If you don't educate yourself and know what you want to do, have direction, you're going to have to work hard. But if you know direction, you know what you want to do, you'll always work smart because you know what you want in life. You know what you need to do and how to apply yourself. And, well, so we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah, he told my grandma that, he was afraid of me because he thought I was going to hit him. I'm like, well, what?
Shoulda hit him.
Well, I was like, when have I hit him? You know,
Yeah.
like the things that these kids would tell you. Like he told me, like, you know, not to put him on blast, but it was the funniest thing. So the things that I heard, like, oh, he's afraid of me. So I was like, I'm gonna catch him. So I finally caught him. I'm driving him to my grandma's, and I'm like, hey, so what's up with this? I'm afraid. And then he's like, well, yeah, I don't know why, but I was afraid of you. Like, you're gonna hit me, and I'm like, when? Oh, you know, I don't, you know.
So when?
No. I tell him, so when? Like, when have I ever hit you?
When?
And he told me,
He's all with
he
the
goes,
backhand,
that
when?
one time at Taco Bell.
Ooh.
I
Remember
said-
that one,
I
bro?
said, how long ago was that? That was like, I think, like in 2007, 2006.
Yeah, but because you didn't feel the putazo, bro. That's why.
And it was
But let me just
embarrassing.
say this, like I say, like if I hit you at Taco Bell, let me just say this: I didn't hit you hard enough because there's probably people around. Because if I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like apparently you just probably got smacked up for being, you know, like
yeah,
why?
they didn't go full blast.
Like he was like,
Like he's
I'm like, dude, you know what?
That's probably the only.
I
time
even
he
told
did it.
him, you know what?
I should fuck you up. for
I'm
that.
mad right now.
Yeah.
You know what? As a matter of fact,
I'm gonna fuck you.
I'm
up.
gonna go home and I'm gonna yell at her. And he's like, what happened? See, my grandma in '89, she yelled at me, and I'm mad now.
In '89.
Because that's what he was doing. You're
the
telling
same
me that
thing.
you're using that 8, 12, 13, 14 years ago
That one
because I
time
hit you or you're mad. I said, imagine how many kids out there your age get their ass beat for the
Yeah.
dumbest things.
You're like, "Let it
I
go,
said,
bro."
dude, I give you respect. I give you, dude. How many kids' father does comedy and tries to, you know, help you develop? And
Fuck, dude, you're at least a father. How many of these kids don't have a
How
fucking
many
father?
have a father
Fuck that. That's what I
figure?
keep telling people. At least he has a father.
a father,
You know what I
not a
mean?
father that abandoned him. that says,
And
"I
it's
don't
not like you're
care."
telling him, hey, homie, if you don't go to school, we can start selling drugs. You said, no, you have to
No.
find yourself. You're giving him good advice. So at the end of the day, fucking
I
you
give
can
him
only do so much.
motivational. I speak to him motivational. I said, dude, do it for you. I said, you know, same thing when I talk about love. I said, dude, you need to love yourself first. Because if you think that you, by loving someone else, you're going to be successful, I said, let me tell you about self-love. When you have self-love, can nobody fuck with you. Because,
Because you're jacking off.
well,
Oh,
that,
no, that's not.
that's
the
safe
self-
That's
sex.
not love, babe. That's
Ah,
not love.
I thought
well,
why
that's
they couldn't fuck
just an
with you.
addiction. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a-
That's just
That's a
something you need to
feeling, but
relieve.
not a love.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a- that's a
Self
kind
love
of
for him, I said, dude, can nobody fuck with you?
Yeah,
when you
that's true.
love yourself that
Yeah.
much, people will see that.
Yeah.
They might consider you
They drive
conceited, but
themselves
I'd rather
to
be conceited with loving myself than to be like a lot of these, you know, dumbasses were like, oh, I don't know why, like 13 years, because I was there like a dumbass, you know, loving somebody that shouldn't have been loved, but because because we're all saviors. I can change somebody.
Everything happened for a reason, bro.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
there's a reason.
Everything
Yeah,
has
either.
because imagine, okay, if that didn't happen back then, you wouldn't be here meeting other people, meeting.
No,
your
I'm
girl now,
grateful.
Everything. It's
I am
it's for a
grateful
reason.
for the opportunities that arise. I'm just not grateful for why I kept it going on. So
Oh,
long.
why didn't you
Okay.
cut it sooner?
Like why did I keep it? You know, because in the end of the day,
You weren't ready.
well, I was ready. The problem was that it just nobody wanted to be the first one to say goodbye, like the song says. Everybody wanted to.
Wait, what song is this?
Yeah.
'Cause your
Gladys
songs are
Knight,
different.
Gladys Knight, Gladys
Oh,
Knight.
Gladys Knight.
You know? So it was one of those things where we had such a long history, with everything. I'm telling you, my history with my ex was a history that we battled CPS. CPS took us 3 years to get our kids back. And I'm talking
my
about
gosh.
going in there. Just the story alone with everything that happened with CPS was like a movie. Like
That's scary.
when I wasn't, I was involved only because I was trying to get her kids. I was 22, 23.
Wow, you were young.
They were trying to like question me. I had to do questionnaires. I had to do all kinds of stuff. They were finally the end of the process where they were like, I don't know if you guys have ever gone to an agent like a warehouse where they keep the kids in warehouses and they just put bunkers. They're just like it's juvenile halls. They just put bunkers and
no,
kids.
I couldn't. No.
That's
No.
it. Like it's crazy. Like what you would see, you'd be like, you walk in there, you'll probably be like, just oh my god, like you treat these kids like you just need to get rid of them.
Like they're in a cage.
Yeah, like they're just like it's just bad. But
That's so sad.
so finally in the end, man, after 3 years of back and forth, they would take the kids from us. CPS will give us an hour a week to visit them, monitored visiting.
But why did they take them away in the first place?
Failure to protect. So her ex had an abusive past, and apparently that was a straw where he ended up there was I think a fight or something, and so CPS got wind of it. She was still, CPS was already involved. They were like, nope, that's it. So it was failure to protect.
Okay, so they were already in the loop. So if something happens, now it's like anything that happens is like.
So anything, yeah. So back then, now it's a lot less. As now they give you guys more chances. Then it was more or less.
Wow.
That's it.
It was dry. So that's the process. So when I met my ex, she made it seem like her kids were in the picture, but they were with the foster. Dude, I'm gonna just put one thing, man. Let me tell you this: these kids got the best foster parents ever, man. They would go to Glamis, like they were really raised well. Like they were really great people, man. They were just
your
awesome.
kids, foster kids, foster parents,
foster parents, like her kids,
her kids,
her daughters, her 3
So
daughters.
how long did they stay with those foster parents?
3 years.
3 years,
3 or 4 years.
Wow, did they hate going back to their mom? Be honest.
No.
You sure? They didn't go.
The little one,
the little one,
the little one, the little one was more attached because she was 1 year old.
Yeah.
So she was raising her like it was her. So it was like a bonding thing.
Yeah.
And then the caseworkers would always playing us. They would always play the parent. Like they would always play like. There was a lot of things that went wrong too with my ex, was missing drug tests but also too with the caseworker we had was always sabotaging because she wanted them to get adopted by the foster parents. So we would go to court after being told that we were gonna get like overnights with the kids, go in there, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, you guys are getting one day monitored for 2 hours, monitored visits for once a week. We're like, what the hell? What did we had them on the weekends now? Now, nope.
Back to it.
So like it was constantly, and then we'll go in there expecting them to put them up for adoption, and then they're like, okay, we guys are gonna have overnights. So all these, it was yo-yo, man. Like we would always go in there not knowing what to expect. Are they gonna take us? And then you would see so many cases with kids in there, man, where especially a lot of molestation, man, a lot of abuse and molestation. Number 1 and 2, back and forth, man. You don't even know, but it was always constant abuse and molestation. It was always, dude. And you'll be surprised the molestation was more on the boys than it was on the girls. On the girls, they were getting abused, and the boys were getting molested by uncles and stuff. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, like
that's when I tell you, like I want to adopt.
It was such a crazy experience going there because you would just hear the stories and the lawyers and you would be like just like, and then you would have like the parents that were like, yeah, I don't want my fucking kids. I don't care. I'm just here because if I don't come,
I get arrested.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, been in 3 years because we would go there and then we already knew we would go there 8 in the morning in Long Beach, not Long Beach, in LA, and we'd go there, and sure enough, we wouldn't leave till like 4 or 5. So imagine the whole time just hearing case after case and people talking and just depressing. Bad. It was just so much bad going on, and then
well, in a good note, we're gonna wrap this up in the.
but let me tell you. So 3 years go by. We went through everything. Everything. It was such a exhausting thing. Like we were at the point like, I don't know what to do anymore. Do we give up or do we whatever? So we went through now we're going through trial now we're in trial phase. Like that's how deep, and they're putting a lot of stress on me. Like they're trying to like this whole time. Let me tell you, the exes, there's 2 exes. There's the father of the 2 older ones and then the father of the baby. So RJ the rat, he is his sheet, his rap sheet is, let me just, it's like,
Oh, the baby.
no, of the two older
The
ones.
two older
Uh-huh.
ones.
Yeah, he's like, it's just continuous. He's a big time tweaker, just robberies, I mean, it was just
It was a long.
he was just a piece of shit. Period. Human being, should have got his fucking nuts chopped.
Yeah, but he had 2 kids with this girl.
But yeah, so I mean, this guy was, and Tommy was the father of the baby. He's the one that they took the kids from. Like, he's the reason why, failure to protect. So I'm I'm at the point where, like I said, man, he didn't show up to the last trial, to the last court date. He didn't show up, but RJ did. And I remember, I was like, damn, dude, like, this is hit and miss, man. I just kept thinking of that Guerrero, like, yo, you got 1%, man, to hit this out of the ballpark. So I asked God, I said, well, what can I do, And the response that I keep hearing in my head was, it's not so much what you can do. You got to speak from your heart. That's the only way they'll ever listen to you, is you speak from the heart, So finally, they put me on stand. I got.
You got to go to court and everything?
I had to go to I'll tell you, because I was I was dating, so they wanted to know if.
You're gonna be in there.
Now remember, if I wasn't a cholo, it would have been a lot different.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
It would have been a white guy.
Yeah, it would have been a lot.
But if he shows up with like a nice Kangol hat and a suit.
I mean, yeah.
They just knew that, like, the mother has a history of
dating pieces of shit.
And then this guy shows up looking like this.
Exactly, you understand?
So now that's what I'm
You
saying.
get
Like,
it?
it was just like it was
Yes.
like a recycling.
Yeah, like
thing,
this girl does
Esta
not
vieja
get it.
no
That's why, yeah,
entiende.
exactly. So now they're thinking like, yo, man, like, that's why they made it so hard on me.
Yeah.
They were like trying to find everything,
Wrong.
records
And
scanned, everything. So here comes the last. Now here's, trial.
the angel.
Last. This is where the judge decide, are the kids going up for adoption
Or they gonna go.
or not. So I was like, damn, okay, cool. So sure enough, I get on they do the stands. Now RJ is probably like where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the stands. He's right there, but he would not look at me. He would look at the floor. He would look everywhere. Now that the DA's asking me questions, and they're like, "Hey, you're 23 years old or 22." At the end of the time, he's like, "Man, why you're so young? Why would you want to do all this?" And I just remember, like, speak from your heart. So I spoke from my heart, and and everything that I said, I wanted him to look at me. I wanted him to know, like, dude, like, this is your children, dude. Like, you should be fighting for them. Instead, he was just it was just for him to get out of jail, just to get a bus ride, to get some good food, and then maybe see his kids.
Say exactly?
I don't know exactly what I said,
More or less.
but I pretty much I spoke from the heart. I said, look, I know I'm young. I know I'm 23 or 22. I said, look, I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, but I could only learn as they grow. We're going to learn from each other. And I don't know what I said. I can honestly not know. Let me just say this. Once I was done speaking, once everything stopped, it was the quietest I ever heard, like, the court. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm telling you, the DAs, the judge, everybody was like, they didn't know, like, what the fuck just happened. The judge started crying. She was crying. She was bawling. And she was like, oh my God, in 20-something years that I've been doing this, I've never, ever heard, anybody speak the way you spoke. And she's like, can you go wait outside? I need to speak with the defensive team. I got to speak with the lawyers. Just bawling. So I go outside and I'm waiting, and I'm just like,
to send somewhere. What
yeah.
is she gonna do?
So I was like, I'm thinking like, damn, dude, was making her cry like a bad thing, or was it a good thing that she felt that I was sincere?
Uh-huh.
So they finally called us back in, and she was like, look, after hearing what you said, she's like, I know they're gonna be in good hands, and yeah, she's like, you guys will get the kids back. And then the next process was we had to get our own place. We had to do this, and we did get our own place on 777, bro. we ended up getting our we became apartment managers. So we got our own place, and yeah, everything just transitioned to getting the kids back, and it was, it was trip because me and my ex were so used to being, like, me and her are alone, and now we have a house, full of kids, and now you went from alone, because my kids were staying with my grandma because their mom ended up abandoning them. She got on drugs, so she's out of the picture. So now it's like 2 years. She's MIA. My daughter would always wonder, like, where's my mom? And my grandma would never talk bad. My grandma would be like, oh, your mom's, she's working, or, just know that she loves you. She would always comfort my kids. But you can't tell a 2, 3, 4-year-old, hey, your mom's on drugs, because they don't know.
They understand.
They don't understand. So she would just be like, don't know, just know your mom loves you. She's just in a bad situation right now, or she's at work, or.
So do they stay with their mother's mom? Your kids, your daughter and your son?
Well, right now, the way it is right now, we have it is my son stays with me and my daughter stays with my ex. Okay. But pretty soon, she's gonna my daughter's gonna want to come with me. It's better for her. But for right now, like I said, once my son is, hopefully, Lord, sass. That my son, like
let me ask you something. What if he
graduate.
comes to you and says, I want to go to the military, Dad, with what's going on right now?
Then he has to figure that out.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Look, it's not. There's nothing.
But is it really your choice as a father?
It's not my choice. I get it.
Look, I could only
And I
talk
get it.
to him and let him know the pros and cons about it. But at the end of the day, it's his choice if he wants to put himself in that. Do I agree what's going on? Hell no, I don't agree.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it's the people's choice. That they
Yeah.
voted him in, and this is the repercussions that we're gonna deal with bad management.
Let me let the listeners know who Joe is, because we literally just jumped into the conversation without even hesitating. Sorry.
Salud.
Yeah. So, Joel Cholo is a comedian, stand-up comedian. How many years have you been doing it, Cholo?
This will probably be my 6th year. I don't really count them. You know what? I'm a firm believer of not trying to be like, 10 years.
For a while.
But I've been doing it going on 6 years.
All right. So, and he's a comedian and a friend of mine, and I wanted to interview him. And this is one of the things I've always wanted to ask him. And I said, let's do it on the podcast because I want to know what cholos are really like, because you are completely different. So thank you very much for joining us. Give him all your social media handles and then shows that are going to be coming up. This is going to be airing tomorrow.
Well, Joe Cholo, man, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Joe Cholo, or Joe Luna. You know what I'm saying? For Instagram, it's Joe Luna or Joe Cholo. Shows coming up, man. January 18th at the Ice House. So I think it's, I don't know what time, but you guys can find it on my page. And then this Thursday, I'm at the EO LA, East of LA comedy show. And I think I'm in Victorville on the 11th, January 11th. And on the 24th, I'm in, like, I think Coachella. I don't know. You just got to look at my page, man. Like, I don't really.
Don't worry. We'll go to your handles. We'll figure it out.
You got on the love handles.
The love handles. Now, can you give me a quick plug right here and go, hey, this is Joel Cholo. And if you want to know how I raised 9 kids, listen to the Richard Villa podcast.
All right, man. This is Joel Cholo, man.
No. Hold on. Grab the mic.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. All right, man. This is Joel Cholo, the good Cholo, by the way. And I'll tell you guys why I'm a good Cholo. Because I made sure that Richard's cars are locked. I went outside to do that. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, man, I'll show you, man. You guys check out the podcast, man. You guys can hear my views, my points, and, how I raised, 6, 9 kids, man. How I think, man, my process of thinking. I'm not your basic or average Cholo. I'm the good Cholo. So hear how I got the jobs, man, that I get. I lie, but I lie for the good way. I lie for a good reason. And, like when the girls catch me lying, I'm like, because I didn't want to hurt you. Just kidding. Saludos, man.